Hi, boys and girls. It's Chef Anita, and I have another story to read for you today. This is a book by Dr. Suess called Horton Hatches the Egg. And if you see on the picture, there's Horton, the elephant, in a tree on a nest. How did that happen? Let's find out. Horton Hatches the Egg by Dr. Suess. Very interesting story. Sighed Maisie, a lazy bird hatching an egg. I'm tired and I'm bored, and I've kinks in my leg. From sitting, just sitting here day after day. It's work. How I hate it. I'd much rather play. I'd take a vacation, fly off for a rest, if I could find someone to stay on my nest. If I could find someone, I'd fly away free. And here's Maisie, the bird, sitting on her nest. And look, there's a little red egg with white speckles in that tree. Then Horton, the elephant, passed by her tree. Hello, called the lazy bird, smiling her best. You've nothing to do, and I do need a rest. Would you like to sit on the egg in my nest? There he is walking by. Nice smile. There she is. There's the little egg. And there's the nest. The elephant laughed. Why, of all silly things, I haven't feathers and I haven't wings. Me on your egg? That, that doesn't make sense. Your egg is so small. And, ma'am, I'm so immense. Tut, tut, answered Maisie. I know you're not small, but I'm sure you can do it. No trouble at all. Just sit on it softly. You're gentle and kind. Come on, be a good fellow. I know you won't mind. I can't, said the elephant. Please, begged the bird. I won't be gone long, sir. I give you my word. She promises. I'll hurry right back. Why, I'll never be missed. Very well, said the elephant, since you insist. You want a vacation? Go on, fly off and take it. I'll sit on your egg and I'll try not to break it. I'll stay and be faithful. I mean what I say. Toodaloo, sang Maisie and fluttered away. And there she is. She's going off, taking off. And let me get over here. There. She's flying off. And there's the little nest and the little egg. And Horton. He's awfully big. Awfully, awfully big. And that is a tiny nest and a tiny, tiny egg. The first thing to do, murmured Horton. Let's see. The first thing to do is to prop up this tree. I'll make it much stronger. That has to be done before I get on it. I must weigh a ton. And look, there he is. He's putting sticks to hold up that little tiny tree. Boy, howdy. He's very optimistic. Then carefully, tenderly, gently he crept up the trunk to the nest where the little egg slept. And there he is, getting up, tiptoeing. Little tiny egg. Oh, my goodness. Then Horton, the elephant, smiled. Now, that's that. And he sat, and he sat, and he sat, and he sat. There he is, sitting on it. He's got a happy smile on his face while he's sitting. And he sat, and he sat all that day, and he kept the egg warm. And he sat all that night through a terrible storm. It poured and it lightened, it thundered, it rumbled. This isn't much fun, the poor elephant grumbled. I wish she'd come back, 'cause I'm cold and I'm wet. I hope that Maisie bird doesn't forget. Oh, let me show you. Forgot to show you the picture. There he is in the storm. Oh, he's not smiling now. Oh, my goodness gracious. And look at the lightning. Thunder. Lightning. But Maisie, by this time, was far beyond reach, enjoying the sunshine way off in Palm Beach and having such fun, such a wonderful rest. Decided she'd never go back to her nest. And here she is on the beach, and she's resting in the top of the palm tree with people down there looking. Oh, look, there's a bird up in the tree. Isn't that nice? Beautiful sunny day. No thunder, no lightning where she is. So Horton kept sitting there day after day, and soon it was autumn, and the leaves blew away. And then came the winter, the snow and the sleet, and icicles hung from his trunk and his feet. But Horton kept sitting and said with a sneeze, "Achoo! I'll stay on this egg and I won't let it freeze. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. Oh, he looks so miserable. Oh, but the tree's holding him. But I guess the little nest is underneath all that, underneath all that ice. Sleep. Miserable. So poor Horton sat there the whole winter through. And then came the springtime, with troubles anew. His friends gathered round, and they shouted with glee, "Look, look, Horton the elephant, he's up in a tree." They taunted him, they teased him, they yelled, "How absurd, old Horton the elephant, he thinks he's a bird." And look at all his friends coming. Look at them all. And he's sitting in the tree, there's the nest. Oh, he's not very happy now. But all his friends are laughing. Ha! Look at him! Look at that elephant up a tree. He thinks he's a bird. Ha! How absurd. They laughed and they laughed. And then they all ran away. And Horton was lonely. He wanted to play. But he sat on the egg and continued to say, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. So all his friends are running down the hill, and he's still up here on the tree in the nest. All his friends are going off to do their thing, play, hang out. Not Horton. No matter what happens, this egg must be tended. But poor Horton's troubles were far, far from ended. For while Horton sat there, so faithful, so kind, 3 hunters came sneaking up softly behind. Look, there they are, 3 hunters with their guns, and there's Horton. There's the back of them. He doesn't see them. They're in the bushes behind him, down the bottom of the hill. Here they come. Shh, softly, up the hill. Shh. He heard the men's footsteps. He turned with a start. 3 rifles were aiming right straight at his heart. There they are. There's the 3 guns, and there's Horton. What's he gonna do? What will he do? He can't run away. He can't leave the nest. He has to stay there. Did he run? He did not. Horton stayed on that nest. He held his head high, and he threw out his chest, and he looked at the hunters as much as to say, shoot if you must, but I won't run away. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. And there they are. All their guns are pointed right at him. There it is. But he's not budging. He's going to stay there because he promised. The men didn't shoot, much to Horton's surprise. They dropped their three guns and they stared with wide eyes. "Look!" they all shouted. "Can you can that such a thing be? An elephant sitting on top of a tree? It's strange. It's amazing. It's wonderful. No! Don't shoot him. We'll catch him. That's just what we'll do. Let's take him alive. Why, he's terribly funny. We'll sell him back home to a circus for money." So guns are down. They're talking, "Oh, now what can we do with this? What are we going to do?" And all Horton's, "Well, they're not going to shoot me. What's going to happen next? What are they going to do?" There's the little nest. Going to catch him alive with the nest? And the first thing he knew, they had built a big wagon with ropes on the front for the pullers to drag on. They dug up his tree and they put it inside, with Horton so sad that he practically cried. "We're off!" the men shouted, and off they all went, with Horton unhappy 100%. See, there he is in the wagon. There's the nest. One of the men with the gun and pipe. Down here, two guys pulling. And look, one of his little forest friends. What's he going to do? Probably nothing. This Horton is in that cage, and the wagon is dragging. Up out of the jungle, up into the sky, up over the mountains 10,000 feet high. Then down, down the mountains, and down to the sea went the cart with the elephant, egg, nest, and tree. So up and down and up and down and up and down, and here they are up at the top of the peak. And down here's the ocean, and a boat, a ship. Then out of the wagon and onto a ship, that very ship, out over the ocean, and ooh, what a trip. Rolling and tossing and splashed with the spray. And Horton said day after day after day, "I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. But boy, am I seasick 100%. There he is on the boat. Oh. He gets motion sickness. That's what it's called when you're on a ship and it's going up and down, and it makes you feel all queasy and sick. Sometimes it happens when you ride in a car. I know I used to get car sick and be moving around. I get queasy and sick, and it's just so miserable. And that's Horton. See, look at his eyes. His eyes are all crisscrossed. He is just miserable. He's staying on that nest. After bobbing around for 2 weeks like a cork, they landed at last in the town of New York. "All ashore!" the men shouted. "All ashore!" And down with a lurch went Horton, the elephant, still on his perch, tied onto a board that could just barely hold him. Bump! Horton landed, and then the men sold him. So look, they got him on a board. It's all strapped, and the pulley. There's the pulley up there. That's the pulley of the rope. They're letting it down. Here he comes. Come on down. Bring it down. Bring it down. That's what this guy's saying down here. Bring it down. Bring it down. And this guy over here is getting money. They're selling him to this guy with a hat and a scar. My goodness gracious. And there's New York City in the background. Horton, Horton, Horton. Sold to a circus. Then week after week, they showed him to people at 10 cents a peek. They took him to Boston, to Kalamazoo, Chicago, Weehawken, and Washington, too. To Dayton, Ohio, St. Paul, Minnesota, to Wichita, Kansas, to Drake, North Dakota. And everywhere thousands of people flocked to see and laugh at the elephant up in a tree. Poor Horton grew sadder the farther he went. But he said, as he sat in the hot, noisy tent, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. All the people coming in. Here's Horton in the tent. There's the little nest. Hey, come on, everybody come see. 10 cents, 10 cents. Come on in. The most amazing thing you'll ever see. An elephant up a tree. I hear ye, hey, hey. Then one day, the circus show happened to reach a town way down south, not too far from Palm Beach. And dawdling along way up high in the sky, who, of all people, should happen to fly by but good old gold good-for-nothing bird Runaway Maisie, still on vacation and still just as lazy. And spying the flags and the tents below, she sang out, "What fun! Why, I'll go to the show." So here she is, over the circus, flying, flying, flying. There's Maisie, flying over the circus. And there's the circus all down below. Huh. And she swooped from the clouds through an open tent door. "Good gracious," gasped Maisie, "I've seen you before." Poor Horton looked up with his face white as chalk. He started to speak, but before he could talk, look, here comes Maisie. She's flying in. And there's Horton, still on that nest. The egg there. Can barely see. Can barely see the egg. I wonder if Maisie paid her 10 cents. I bet she didn't. She just flew in. And before he could talk, there rang out the noisiest, ear-splitting squeaks from the egg that he'd sat on for 51 weeks. A thumping, a bumping, a wild, alive scratching. "My egg!" shouted Horton. "My egg! Why, it's hatching!" "My egg! It's hatching!" "But it's mine!" screamed the bird when she heard the egg crack. The work was all done. Now she wanted it back. "It's my egg," she sputtered. "You stole it from me. Get off my nest. Get out of my tree." Poor Horton backed down with a sad, heavy heart. Get off my nest. Get off my nest, you." Like, there's the egg. It's cracking. Big crack inside the egg. Can you see it? And Horton, oh no, he's backing down off the tree. "Get off my egg! It's my egg now, mine." That ladybird is not very grateful. But at that very instant, the egg burst apart, and out of the pieces of red and white shell from the egg that he had sat on so long and so well, Horton, the elephant, saw something whiz. It had ears and a tail and a trunk just like his. And the egg bursts open. Look at that. And look, there's Maisie. "What?" And it's like a little elephant bird. It's got his nose and his ears, just like him, but wings. Oh my goodness, but it looks just like Horton. How absolutely amazing is that? And the people came shouting, "What's all this about?" They looked and they stared with their eyes popping out. Then they cheered, "Woohoo!" And they cheered, "Woohoo!" And they cheered, "Woohoo!" some more. We've never seen anything like it before. My goodness, my gracious, my word, it's something brand new. It's an elephant bird. And it should be. It should be. It should be like that. Because Horton was faithful. He sat and he sat. He meant what he said. And he said what he meant. And look, there it is, the little elephant bird up on his trunk. A big happy smile on his face. And old Maisie, down on the corner, she's not happy. Well, she laughed. And he said what he meant. And they sent him home with his little elephant bird. And he was happy 100%. And there are all his animal friends, jungle friends there waiting, and they send him home. Big truck get off to go out, and there he is home with his little baby elephant bird that now he gets to take care of. And that's the story of Horton hatches the egg. That's a fun story. It's kind of crazy, but sure is fun. I hope you liked it, because I liked it, and I will read you another story another day. Take care, everyone. Please remember to wash your hands, wear a mask when you go outside. Be safe, be safe, be safe. Bye-bye.